The Immortal John Hancock here, and I have 5 new multi-carts from Blaze Entertainment for the Evercade, and I've covered all these cartridges on my channel. You can check out my playlist, and a link will be below. Anyways, here you go. This is Geo Arcade 2. What they've done is they've broken up Geo games into 3 multi-carts, and these are fantastic, and they are great choices per cart, and I love everything about the Evercade. It's affordable retro gaming, and there's over 500 games for this system on approximately, like, I don't know, 80 multi-carts. Check it out. You can reverse cover that Neo Geo sleeve. How awesome is that? Here are the games on Neo Geo Arcade 2. There's 6, but there's some awesome ones. Mark of the Wolves, amazing fighting game. And I just want to show it playing on a Versus R, which is an affordable retro console, and I did a review of that on my channel as well. So the games play fine. You can save progress, and this is a fun way to go back and play these games. And what I like about the Versus R, which is my favorite style of playing on the Evercade systems, there's a handheld, there's a tabletop, there's a Versus, and you play the way you want to go. There's also the Hyper Megatech Super Pocket as well, if you want to go that route to play these multi-carts. There's lots of different hardware options for Evercade, and I've covered that on my channel. Anyways, Ninja Commando, an earlier kind of non-fighting game, kind of a vertical shooter, and this is one often, I would say, not forgotten, but you know what, there was a lot of fighting games on Neo Geo consoles and arcade setups, and so this one often gets kind of overlooked by other more popular mainstream titles, but I like it. And so what I love about it is just the different ways of playing these games. This is an affordable way of playing Neo Geo games on bite-sized multi-carts. And so Sengoku 2, this is kind of the overlooked sequel to Sengoku, and the third one, which came out much later. And so in the comments, let me know, of Neo Geo Arcade 2, what is your favorite game? I just wanted to show a few of the games on here, as I have many titles to cover, as Evercade has been busy offering new multi-carts. And so you can check out the wide library of what they offer on their website. This Neo Geo Arcade 3, and this probably is my favorite of the 3 carts, and I'm going to explain why in this video. So check it out. Full color manual talks about backstory information about each game. And you know what? What's great about Evercade is they offer full color manual as well as, you know, affordable gaming. These are about 30 bucks per multi-cart. You can sometimes get them on sale. You can check them out at various different retailers. Songbird Productions is an example of a place that offers these. You can go to various retailers to check these out. But man, look at that slipcover with that reverse sleeve. Man, that looks so awesome. I'm so stoked that they did that. I'm going to keep it that way. Anyways, let's jump into the games here. Ghost Pilots, King of Fighters 97, Metal Slug 3, Samurai Showdown 2, Super Sidekicks, and Twinkle Star Sprites. I definitely have my favorites on here. Ghost Pilots is kind of a slower vertical shooter, another early release for the Neo Geo, and you know, if you like Fire Shark, I would say it's in the same vein as that, and you can check it out. And it's got some pretty nice graphics, but you know, the Neo Geo stood out from its competitors back in the day with its raw processing power, its robust color sprites. I mean, it was just able to handle games that wouldn't have been able to be produced properly on other platforms. Metal Slug 3, by far probably the best game on this multi-cart Neo Geo Arcade 3. As to me, it's the pinnacle of the series. It's the one that got it right. It's the one everybody remembers. Fantastic animated sprite graphics, and just well done. There's just so much going on. The animations in this game. If you're a 2D sprite fan, look no further than Metal Slug 3. It's a timeless classic. It's, to me, exceptional graphics and animation, and to me it's one of the best Neo Geo games made. It's one of my favorite, and I think for a lot of people as well. And it's not a fighting game too. It's a Contra style arcade game with branching paths that you can do. Another favorite of mine that's on the same multi-card as Samurai Showdown 2, one of my favorite fighting games of all time. I probably like this more than Street Fighter 2, and I know that's a bold statement, but it's really well done. Check it out, little alien homage in the background. Love that. Fantastic game, and I think Neo Geo Arcade 3 is probably my favorite Neo Geo card. Now, for computer enthusiasts, you're going to love the Llamasoft Collection, and this is all of Jeff Minter's classics, or a lot of them, all on one cart. Now, there's a couple exclusions here. There's no Tempest 2000, and I'm sure there was a licensing issue there, but for vintage computer stuff, there's a ton to enjoy here. VIC-20 and a whole bunch more. Commodore 64. And what's kind of weird is they label the games A and B, and so they are from classic computers, but enthusiasts will know which versions were included. In the comments, let me know. But there's just a ton here, a multitude of different games he did spanning different platforms, 27 games. It's a really nice selection of some classic Minter games, and if you're a big Jeff Minter fan, this is awesome. And you know what? This is the 10th computer cartridge for the Evercade platform. What's really cool is they're offering those computer classics in a budget retro system. Here are the games included. Some I'm not too familiar with. I tried to gravitate to the ones that I knew. Grid Runner, 2 different versions of that. Attack of the Mutant Camels. Laser Zone is just a few. Revenge of the Mutant Camels. There's just some amazing games included here, and several classics that you probably remember. Or maybe this is your first time being introduced to Jeff Minter. Caution, flashing lights ahead. These are flashing lights, warning. Anyways, wanted to show just some of the classics that are on this. Now, I'm not too great at playing some of these classic games. Jeff Minter games are known to be very difficult, and I just think it's fantastic that a multitude of them are on one multi-cart. So awesome to see that. Next, you have Grid Runner, which was made on several different platforms. There's 2 versions here. And yeah, I think that one of the annoying things is that it doesn't tell you outright which version you are playing. So it was on Commodore VIC-20, Commodore 64. I do believe 8-bit as well, Atari 8-bit. So in the comments, let me know. Which version is this? What classic computer platform? And I remember playing Grid Runner. Pretty tough game. It's kind of like a take on Centipede, but better. Llamatron 2112 is a fantastic take of Robotron with llamas. It's just so trippy. Caution, flashing lights ahead. And so I just want to show this. And it's just so well done. I'm so excited that this version was included on this crazy, awesome multi-cart. By far, probably my favorite game to play, with all its audio samples and all that. Just so fantastic and weird and trippy. And it's a Jeff Minter classic. And so excited to see that. Revenge of the Mutant Camels. Just a kind of a parody of his own game. And I just love this. And you know what? If you're a Jeff Minter fan and you like his work and you like his classic computer work, it was so cool to see him at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo in 2024. And so pretty awesome to see just a multitude of his work being honored in a multi-cart. As you know what? He was a pioneer in programming for classic computers. And you know what? Just awesome to see a lot of his work all in one collection that's affordable, that's accessible, and so pretty awesome. Super Grid Runner, not too familiar with playing this one, and wanted to just share it here as, you know what, it's kind of like an updated version of classic Grid Runner with better graphics. And I just think it's fantastic that you are able to play this. Affordable multi-carts, 27 games. So for people that are wanting like a lot of bite-sized gaming, you can do this. And it played fine on my Evercade Versus with the controller, wired controller that comes included with that. Wanted to show some of these classic games and what they look like, what you are getting, what you are going to experience. And in the comments, let me know, what is your favorite Jeff Minter game and experience? Next up, we have the Activision Collection 1, and this is taking iconic Atari 2600 classics and putting them on a multi-cart. It's kind of weird that you have a classic such as this, a collection of Activision games, on an Evercade, but it's not included on the Atari 50, which is just weird. But hey, I'm not complaining. Here it is, 15 classic Activision games. Activision, if you didn't know, made some of the best games for the Atari 2600. And they were a third-party company, so sometimes they're not included with Atari Classics. And so here are the games included: Beam Rider Crackpots, Demon Attack, River Raid, Star Master, Pitfall, or just to name a few. There's some big ones here. Now, you're probably wondering, wait a minute, Demon Attack was made by Magic. Activision owns the library of Magic games. How awesome is that? So for future compilations, you might see more Magic titles. Demon Attack is one of my favorites. Timeless classic shooter. Crackpots is a game that I've grown to appreciate more over time, and to me, it's kind of like a, I don't know how to explain it, but pretty much you're just taking out bugs, taking out spiders, throwing down flower pots at them. Just a well done game, and just something unique that showed what the 2600 was capable of. Just a really kind of a simple premise, but just a well done game. It's kind of like a reverse Centipede, I guess. Enduro, one of my favorite racing games on the Atari 2600. So well done, and just taking the limitations of the hardware and pushing it to endless boundaries and just showing what could be done, and still fun to play to this day with the changing terrain. Love that game and still play it to this day, and it just plays fine on this Evercade multi-cart. Now, people are going to wish that there was more titles offered on this collection, but the 15 games that they chose from Activision are pretty good. River Raid, another classic. You know, this is probably one of the better Activision games. I kind of gravitated to the action-oriented games that were on this collection. These are the ones I kind of pick up and play. These are the ones that honestly I remember playing back in the day. Pitfall, just, you know, an iconic platformer for the 2600, showing what was capable on the Atari 2600. You know, people forget that how iconic and how classic and how revolutionary Pitfall was on the 2600. Definitely in the comments, let me know your experiences. Another surprise hit from out of nowhere is a Rare Collection 1. And taking those games, which I do believe Microsoft owns, both this and Activision, working with Evercade, what a great team up. Now, not everything's here, and there is some omissions, but 12 games, I think, for an affordable budget price. There's some classics here. You got Battletoads Arcade and the NES classic Battletoads. And so for some people, they're going to wish that other games were included. Check out Reversible Sleeve, another cool extra that Evercade does, because there's some computer games included on this collection. And so if you're a ZX Spectrum fan, you're going to see some classics here that you probably grew up with, and so I love that. Jetpack is by far one of my favorite classic computer games that they did, and I think other people would agree with that. But there's some other Saberwolf, there's some other games on here that people are going to remember and be excited about playing. So there is some classic computer games, but there's also some timeless, iconic, classic console games, Battletoads being the big one here. And you know what, that very difficult, level 3. I remember playing this back in the day and just I was very impressed with the graphics. Just such a well done NES release, and really showed the capabilities of what you could do with some limited hardware. You know, Rare really did to Nintendo what Activision did for Atari 2600 and pulled off some amazing feats. And so it was really nice to see this game included. Battletoads Arcade, which many people probably haven't experienced. It's nice to see that here, at least in 2-player form. And so pretty sweet to see that. It's got some pretty good graphics too. Nice to see this game included. So really it's a collection of arcade, even handheld too, because there's Conker's Pocket Tales on here as well. So RC Pro-Am, another timeless classic for me. Really enjoyed playing this game back in the day. This was one that was played a lot in my home. It came out around the time that I had an NES in my home, around '87. And so this is one I rented first and eventually picked up. Eventually, like how I picked it up. But RC Pro-Am was another favorite of mine. So well done. Anyways, in the comments, let me know. What do you think of these collections? What are you planning on picking up? Have you picked up any already? Anyways, thank you for viewing this video. If you like what you see, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell, as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. This is the immortal John Hancock, and you take care.